I am fascinated by stories. Um, when I was little, I used to have lots of books. I was very lucky that my parents were able to provide them for me. And I read crazily, especially from the age of, well, the first reading age, 3 or 4, up until my teenage years at least. Some of my favourite stories were the Rudyard Kipling's Just So stories. Some of you may be familiar with those. They tell, a couple of examples would show what they do. So, for example, how the camel got his hump, or also how the leopard got his spots. So sort of animal-based stories by obviously the great Rudyard Kipling. And on the back of that, many years later, when I decided to that I wanted to have a go at songwriting, it didn't take me too long to come back to those stories and think to myself, what if I could write my own Just So story? So I tried it, and the song I wrote with that inspiration in mind, it's called The Ballad of the Wailing Siren. And the premise of the story is that some of you, again, perhaps know from old literature that the sirens were these sort of half female, half fish creatures, mermaids kind of thing, that would sit on the rocks in ancient Greece or wherever around the Med, and entice the sailors in their boats onto the rocks, and they would crash on the rocks, and then the mermaids would I don't know, maybe have their way, or they would have accomplished their mission to get the sailors to crash, because they were so attractive, these mermaids, these sirens. As I say, so I was inspired to write my own. What if one of the sirens had a very melancholy cry, and what was the backstory to this? Why would one particular siren have a very sad, a much sadder, sweeter song to sing to the sailors than another? And perhaps I could come up with a backstory for this siren, and that's what I did with this song, The Ballad of the Wailing Siren. I'll show you a clip in a moment, but if you're interested, I'll put the link in the comments for you to go and listen to the full song, if that's your kind of bag. So I hope you like it. Cheers, Ryan.
Should you sail near the Isle of Capri, their three-winged maidens, most fair you'll see. One of them, Parthenope, her song the sweetest of the three. But truth be told, that siren's tale is one of how true love can fail, enticing sailors with tuneful bait. She fell for one and spared his fate. His name was a boss, the Commodore.